You know, I find it interesting that no matter which version of World of Warcraft I'm playing, there is always a night elf getting down anywhere and in the least likely areas of this game. Every corner of Azeroth is not safe from a night elf dancing, and if you know, you know. Salam alaikum everybody, and welcome back to Let's Level Every Class, the World of Warcraft War Within series, episode 10, the finale of our monks leveling journey, our blue-eyed demon gal, Void Elf Novaxaru. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Just kicking off this episode with Dungeoneering, y'all. Dungeoneering as we take care of this Starship Troopers looking bug dude. Top right corner of the screen is going to be a playlist card that'll take you directly to this character's specific leveling series. And throughout this video, there will be other playlist cards in the top right, which will take you to other characters we have completed or currently in the works for their leveling journeys, be it a Draenei Shaman Morame, Blood Elf Paladin Vlera, and Human Warrior Malakyal. Lot of World of Warcraft content, lot of leveling journeys here, a lot of leveling journeys. It's been quite fun. But as we wrap up episode 10, I mean, we're here. This is it, y'all. The finale, the final episode of Novaxaru's leveling journey and campaign. And like I said, we're just kicking this off. It's just going to be a madhouse, not a rush, but it's going to be a madhouse journey to level 80. And just like that, first boss down, Raigon, complete, bismillah. We are journeying forth. Level 80 is within our reach.
Watch your step.
A beautiful journey that this has been for Novaxaru, and definitely for me. I'm going to be discussing kind of like my thoughts and experiences on Monk, the leveling journey, throughout, you know, what I felt about it, the whole experience, revisiting, or for me, the first time really getting to experience Mists of Pandaria as a whole. I mean, obviously being retail, and just things that I could have improved on, things that I've noticed with the class, what I think could change, hopefully in the future, or just some things that I would definitely like to see, and just little stuff like that. So let's go ahead and kick off with my first little thing. Mists of Pandaria, beautiful expansion, beautiful, start to finish. Well, I can't say start to finish because I couldn't complete every single quest. However, from the quest lines that I've gotten to do, the areas that I got to experience, the questing was phenomenal, y'all. I think it was a beautiful pace. It really was. It was a strong pacing from the beginning to going to the countryside, the Jade Forest, getting to experience, you know, tag teaming with the SI agents on the Alliance side, which really makes me wonder if you pick Horde side, who do you get? Getting to see the bickering between the conflicts of the Horde and the Alliance leaders, getting to see Anduin, you know, playing the whole where in the world is, you know, instead of Carmen Sandiego, it's where in the world is Prince Anduin, and getting to see his rebellious side a little bit, but also having a meaning behind his rebellious side. It's all really cool, and how the dungeons really key in, or not key in, that's not necessarily the term I'm looking for, how they blend into the storyline itself, it's all, to me, a breath of fresh air. And I know back in the day there was definitely a huge amount of controversy between, okay, we're getting away from the World of Warcraft, now we're getting into what appears to be silly modernization, or just like, I understand we're trying different things, but couldn't we make it still feel a little bit medieval and whatnot? And the World of Warcraft really had to kind of modernize and had to go off the beaten path to experiment. It really needed to do that in order to get new players in, keep things fresh, and just journey into uncharted territories. And I think Miss as a whole did it phenomenally well. The pacing for the questing didn't feel boring. The dungeons feel awesome. I think the experience was really cool. It was definitely really cool, and a much needed for me, especially coming from a leveling campaign with every character. This was definitely really, really, really needed. Now, there's a few things, however, about monks that I feel is kind of tricky to navigate, especially for if you're really interested in the role-playing aspect of in gaming and such, and specifically MMOs. So monks, so the armor sets, the armor pool, like the armor items that you would get in this expansion, don't play into any medieval type of concept or like a typical Warcraft concept, and you have to keep that in mind. So that means for my Paladin family, the gear drops that you're gonna get, the gear upgrades that you're gonna get, it's gonna vary here a little bit, and you have to take it with a fresh perspective, because otherwise you're kind of now. It's a little bit different with transmog. You can definitely play around and, you know, have a little bit more freedom, definitely with transmogs. But let's say you're playing the Mists of Pandaria expansion from beginning to end. I think it's a little tricky for certain classes. I think certain classes really start to lose their identity in the form of gear that you're getting, because the appearance wise, I'm not gonna look like a paladin. I guarantee you there's players right now playing Mists of Pandaria Classic that feel like this. Like, you don't feel like a paladin. You feel like it for the abilities, but you're not gonna look like a paladin, and that's gonna turn off quite a few players for sure. Again, referencing Mists of Pandaria Classic right now, I feel like a lot of people may struggle with that. But if you keep an open mind to it and just realize, hey, again, they're playing on the aesthetics here. They're playing on the aesthetics, the lore, the background, the different ethnical backgrounds, diversifying it. Keep an open mind, or at least try to do your best with it. One thing I struggled with here was, and this is just a really minor nitpick on my part, is looking the part of an actual monk. The gear aesthetic and appearance was really difficult. I feel like FF11 we had the styling down a little bit better, but that just could also be based on the development teams at the time, because Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria gear, even for monks, you don't really start to look like a monk until much later on. I could be, oh goodness. Okay, we had to get one death, and this hopefully will be the final death that I have in this series. But I had to do it at least once, y'all. It's tradition at this point. Gosh, it's totally tradition. Then again, that was my fault. I stood in that AoE like a complete dummy. The gear pool is the appearancing and playing around with it. It was kind of hard for me to kind of balance things out. Like right now, you see a mix of the Void Elf set to kind of hopefully look the part of a monk, but I still don't necessarily. I don't dig it. I don't vibe with it as much. Like, I feel like other classes you definitely can have a much better coinciding. Dang, there's a term I'm specifically trying to think of. There's just a much better pool of gear that can be tailored to classes if you want to look the part. It's not the worst thing in the world, and again, keep an open mind to it, but for me, I definitely struggled with in terms of like, yeah, I feel like a monk, but do I actually look like a monk? And I'm sure a lot of the, the gears later on, like the gear sets later on, definitely help alleviate this, but it's just a small nitpick on my part. Then again, I'm kind of spoiled. Being, I guess, a Paladin main, I suppose. Yeah, pretty much a Paladin main throughout my time in WoW. In Azeroth, I think we were kind of spoiled outside of outside of the banana set. I'm sorry, I can't. Banana set in tier 3, the frozen, Wrath of the Lich King Paladin sets. Nah, you go from looking like a banana to looking really good with tier 2, and then you look like a Gundam for tier 3, which was just like, oh gosh, why? But again, very, very, very small, minute nitpick on my behalf, but it gets better. It definitely gets better with the raiding gear. Definitely the raiding gear. Monk's raiding gear, now you start to look the part of a monk. Now you look and you're just like, oh yeah, hands down. Now I'm feeling, to quote the Pan Death Grips, I guess. So that's just one little thing. Play around with transmog, especially if you're playing Mists on retail. Play around with it, see what you like. Monks, that's the other thing. I feel like the hand-to-hand combat, I would have loved to have seen more dual fist weapons. This is something, again, FF11 we had. For all my FF11 family, you'll know what I'm talking about. Monks had access to the destroyers, Bagnox. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but basically spiked fists, like kind of like what I have on right here, except I only have one, which to me is like weird. You're only given one fist item, and it's like, can I dual wield? Like that would be a little bit more. I think maybe even stancing abilities for monks to go into a more defensive or offensive stance. I think that would have been pretty cool, but given where retail stands, I think it's monks still in a very, very good spot. So aside from the armor, the weapons, the look, how did I feel playing monk? And this is where it gets interesting. I think monks are the meta, secretly, in my opinion, I feel like they're the meta knights of Warcraft and Azeroth, at least in retail. You have a crew. Look at this, dude. You have an insane amount of utility. You have a cloning ability, not to say that warlocks and mages, and I think evokers have one too, but you can basically make clones of yourself, and you start to use all of your best damage abilities at the same time. Dude, spinning crane kick and everything, somersault, spinning crane kick, forget it. It's insane. It's crazy to me. It's super fun to pop off all those abilities and just maximize damage and efficiency. Monks are a hidden gem with damage dealers. I wasn't expecting it to be as fun as it was, but it's so fun. You just gotta try it. It's like an adrenaline rush, y'all. But y'all, real quick, I do have a quick favor to ask, that if you're enjoying the content, the Let's Level series and whatnot, maybe consider tossing this video a like. Do leave a comment if, let me know how y'all enjoyed Novaxaru's leveling series. Was it your favorite thus far? Were there things that, darn it, dude. 2 for 2 in this dungeon. Dang it. All right, we dropped again. Tradition, y'all. It's just tradition. The cameraman never dies, but that's not the case. Not my case at all. I'm definitely not the protagonist of this storyline. But yeah, do leave a comment if you had any constructive feedback. Let me know how y'all enjoyed Nova's leveling series. Definitely let me know. And maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. Currently on a journey to 100 subscribers. We're getting very close, and I would sincerely appreciate your consideration if I have earned your trust. only if I have earned it. If I have not earned it, not a problem, no worries. I'm on a journey to earn every single subscription possible and make myself a pretty good small voice in the grand community of Warcraft and Azeroth. So thank you and shukran. Thank you. So Monk. Monk's a crazy damage dealer in my opinion. I don't know how it is for raiding, so I can't speak on that part. I can't speak from an elite player's perspective, a hardcore player's perspective. I can't. More so on the casual basis, I'd say monks are crazy. In fact, when I was leveling with Malakyal and Vlera, I noticed a lot of monk tunes and alts going into Timewalking Dungeons and everything. Be it healing, the tanking, it didn't matter. Like there was a monks are pretty commonplace in retail as it stands, in my opinion. People love this class. Love this class. Monks are really cool, y'all. You just have to try it. Like, I don't know how it is or how it feels as a healer. I'm only speaking from a damage dealing perspective. This is insane. Like, I can't imagine going into PvP and facing a monk head on. I just feel like he'd eviscerate me and wipe me off the face of the map. Y'all remember how back in the day, we're talking like this is maybe even Burning Crusade, but definitely pre-Wrath. Y'all remember how the secret cannon, like the secret hidden cannon class in PvP was... I mean, mages were really good. Sometimes you'd see a warlock who really knew how to eviscerate somebody. Hunters were just, hunters. But warriors were like the hidden... We all thought warriors kind of sucked outside of being a tank. Like, damage dealing was kind of like, okay, we see the utility, but how do you make it work? And then when those PvP videos really started to come out and people like monks were just... or not monks, excuse me, warriors with the two-hander were just going in and just eviscerating people. And it was, y'all remember those times? I'm sure my veteran players watching, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. But monk feels like that. It feels like it's the hidden loose cannon that it just doesn't know what it wants, but it knows where it's going to go. Like, it doesn't, and that's kind of a hard sell for an analogy, but it knows what it can be and the potential is there. It just doesn't, like, it knows the destination, it's the journey leading up to it though. And that's just from like a damage dealing perspective. Like, once a monk has their abilities and cooldowns and everything ready to go, I mean, you're just talking an absolute tornado, a hurricane of damage coming your way. I'd hate to fight a monk in PvP. I really would hate to go one-on-one with a monk, because I don't know if Paladin consecrate's really gonna matter too much. They're just gonna sit there and laugh and be like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But your utility, you have the flying dragon kick, which you can later upgrade to provide damage. I think it's shearing winds and whatnot. You have the spinning crane kick, which is just sick, dude. Spinning crane kick is my favorite monk ability. You've got your clones, you've got your... At some point later on when you unlock the hero talents, then you summon Byakko to your side for a little bit to cause extra damage. The dragon that you see on occasions. You just have a self-heal. Like, homogenous, some classes I feel like went overboard with the class homogenization. There is something different about monks. There really is something different about monks. And playing a Void Elf Monk was a good choice in my opinion. It really, like, I did want to make her a Pandaren. I was really about to do it, and then something told me to do it as a Void Elf, and I'm not regretting it at all. Void Elves are sick. Your racial traits are amazing. Your mount, all right, I'm sorry. My favorite color is purple. Like, a lot of shades of purple, specifically lavender, but I cannot fathom how y'all got that Sunstrider. Or Hawkstrider, excuse me. I'm jealous of that as a Blood Elf. I look to the opposite side of the fence and go, why couldn't we have that? But I guess we had the Emerald. the rare Emerald Sunstrider, and then the silver one, I think, which was the even rarer one back in the day. But play around with it. I mean, you really can't go wrong. I don't think races matter all too much in retail, like as if it does, in terms of like classic anniversary or maybe seasons of discovery. I'm not too sure, but definitely from like a classic standpoint, it matters definitely a little bit more. But once I think we hit Cataclysm especially, I don't think race truly mattered to that extent. But yeah, Void Elf Monks, dude, they're fun, y'all. They are really, really fun. A little bit of lore about the name of Novaxaru and such, just in case this is the first time y'all are tuning in, and you're tuning into the finale of all episodes, but I think that's pretty cool. Shouts to y'all. A little bit of lore about the name of Novaxaru. I actually named the character off of a very good compatriot and friend that I've had for a long time, who we played Final FF11 together, and it was for years, absolute years. Absolute sweetheart of a woman, a phenomenal human being and such, and I know she does tune into the series and catches up when she can and whatnot. But it was actually the name of a very good friend of mine, who we played years together. So there's a little bit of lore there. I think there's another character that one of the alts or one of the tunes I'm going to make for a future Let's Level series is also going to have one of her alt character names in, so that'll be really cool. I'm definitely looking forward to that, and she's definitely going to look a lot like her. This is Nova. I tried to make look like her as much as I could. I guess on her shaggy hair days, I suppose. Her wavy hair days, but the next time I'm definitely going to make her look definitely a lot like her, like almost one for one copy and such. So there was definitely a little bit of lore, and I think that's fun. I think it's fun to create characters, like as if, for those of y'all that have been keeping up with the Let's Level series as a whole, I really try to give every character their own personality. I give them their own name, their own identity. I didn't just want to create a character and then like Malakyal and then just have it all continue to be Malakyal and just other different, iterations of name. And it's just, I mean, Malakyal is the face of the channel. She's the Paladin avatar, anime in Chibi that y'all see. She's in every single Chibi class little PNG photo and whatnot that I add to the thumbnails and whatnot. And it's, I do. She's the main heroine of the channel. She's the face. She's the mascot in a lot of ways. But I'm very fond of giving every character their own identity. I'm sure many of y'all feel the same as well. Like, give every character their own identity, their own journey, make it unique every single time. And there's nothing wrong, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with, I just don't know what to name this character, so I'm just gonna, make it the same name or give it an extra letter and such. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I struggle sometimes to name every single, I've got, let's see, Nova, this will be number 3, so I've got 11 more characters, and I'm gonna have to come up with names and backgrounds and a little bit of lore for each and every single one of them. I'm basically playing D&D just on an MMO scale, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm sure many of y'all do the same. but I think it's just cool to give every gal their own individual personality and such. It just makes each playthrough a little bit more unique. That way it doesn't feel like I'm speed running and I just want to get it done and I just want to get a character to 80. No, I really want the journey to be a journey, to be an experience. That's the whole point of Let's Level as a whole. I want it to be a journey from point A to point B. Make it an experience, make it fun, get some new players into the game, get as many people's eyes as I can on World of Warcraft, veteran players to return to the game and such and say, hey, this is still your home even after a decade or however long you've been away from the game. This is still your home, and you are more than welcome to come and participate in the wonderful experience of Azeroth, or just reignite somebody's passion to come back to the game and whatnot. I'm not trying to be like a spokesperson. This isn't sponsored by any means. I jumped into WoW specifically from a friend that has been playing this game for basically the game's entire existence. I stopped after a few months just shy of Cataclysm. That's where my stopping point was, and I didn't really do a whole heck of a lot in Wrath's expansion. I was always more of like a leveler versus just playing the story through and through. But you know, just coming back in on a whim and utilizing this partially for therapeutic reasons, and just more so just for doing something different, getting out of the comfort zone and having fun. If you're not having fun, then yes, what is the point? So I think that hits another point of content that I definitely wanted to talk on. Avoiding burnout. Like I said, I've got 11 characters yet to go for season 1 of the Let's Level series. How do you avoid burnout? Was Monk a little boring? You know, was it boring? Did I find at any point, did I just want to be done with it? Not really, no. Believe it or not, no. The more you level a character in the specific class, the more you get to experience other fun elements of it. I think that's what really kept me going. There are some points where I felt like, Monk's getting a little stale. Maybe start another character, or at least just immediately start leveling another character. But I like to keep the pace. I like to not, just have multiple, like 4 characters going at one time. I don't like being that chaotic. I'm not chaotic energy on the table of where I stand. I'm more so neutral, I suppose. But avoiding burnout, yeah, I'll agree. It definitely happens. It definitely happens. There's definitely a day where I'm like, do a little bit, and then I'm like, not today, just not today. And then I'll come back to it another day and be like, all right, cool, I can do this. So there is definitely some points, and this is with every character thus far. There's some points where there's days where I'm just like, it feels a little dry, but it never gets completely boring to me. Like, it doesn't happen like that. I really try my best to make every leveling experience different, unique, and just different enough for me to avoid that burnout crash, because we still got a lot of leveling yet to go, and there's going to be a lot of overlay between characters. There's going to be a lot of overlap in areas, or what areas I'm going to use for leveling and such, what dungeons. Once you've seen the time-walking versions multiple times, you've pretty much seen them all. But Bismillah team, great job. We got the Blood Furnace done and complete, and it's on to the next one. All right, team. How we looking? Now we're looking like a monk. Now we're looking. Dude, this armor set is sick. And we got Magister's Terrace. And we got one of my favorite dungeons of all time. And whoa, holy crap. I was about to go off the stage. How therapeutic, how freaking on par would that be? That would have been like my 3rd death of the VOD, I suppose. Dude, it just would have been funny. Now we're looking like a monk. This tier set, and that's what you gotta do. You gotta change it up. You gotta jump in. You gotta change up the look, because the abilities and such, it's all gonna feel normal. You know, it's all gonna eventually feel the same and feel a little redundant. It will feel redundant after a certain point of like the millionth time of doing spinning crane kick, but that's why you gotta change it up, change up the look, do the little things like changing up the look, changing up the style, changing up how you approach combat interactions in the game, or just like tactically how do you approach things and such. Change up the dungeons, you know, instead of doing all time walking, do some follower, do world quests, world bosses. There's a lot you can do to kind of change things up and keep it fresh. How do you keep a class playthrough feeling fresh? You change it up. You change it up any way you can. Go and experience a different zone. Go and experience a different quest line. Go do some world events and such. So that's all little tricks of the trade that I use to keep a character's playthrough feeling fresh and unique. Definitely with Nova, with other characters, it's going to be the exact same thing, exact same approach. And yeah, hopefully that's good. I want to see more players come into World of Warcraft. I want the Let's Level series to be not the hallmark, but I want it to be the go-to for this is how Holy City WoW did it, and it's clean, it's concise. It's clean, it's concise, it doesn't go too long, no playthrough overextends its bearings, it doesn't go longer than necessary. It's a very easy leveling campaign to follow, and that's kind of what I always aim for. I really try to aim for a little bit of efficiency, and I think I'm getting pretty good at it. I definitely think the more characters I level, the more girls we get to see, and guys eventually. I'm definitely going to do some male characters at some point. The more I can make each playthrough efficient. Not like speedrunning efficient. I'm sorry, that's not me. Maybe some challenge runs I can do, or some challenge leveling I can definitely do, but in terms of like speedrunning, I don't think so. I'm not too good at that. I'm sorry. Oh, it has to happen. It has to happen. I bit off a little bit more than I could chew. That sucks. Death number 3. God dang, y'all. Hopefully I can get a revive. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait here a little bit. My team is in combat. Let's see if I can once they get cleared here, maybe I can get a little bit of assist here. If not, nah, let's just go ahead and do it. I was thinking there for a few seconds. I was like, I'll just wait, but I can get to them pretty quickly. That's one little thing that I actually, that is a notch against Monk. Slicing wins. I hate how it replaces the dragon kick. I think if they did an upgraded dragon kick, like a Liu Kang flying kick, I think that would have been much more preferred. But slicing wins, I get it. It's cool. Not to say that I had to upgrade it, but I did anyway. I think it's cool, but it's not like 100%. Like, I'm not fully sold on it. I think the dragon kick just looks a lot cooler in my opinion.
I must get closer. Too far away. I do not have a target.
Accomplishes nothing.
I need to
The
target
Master
something
will have
first.
you. You will drown in your own blood. The world shall
This is it, y'all. The Underbog. I think this is it. I'm feeling it. This is going to be the final dungeon, and we're going to be hitting 80 and wrapping this up. I think Nova's leveling journey has been awesome. That'd be pretty cool now that I think about it, y'all. I think like doing a eventual tier list of once season 1's characters are complete and putting them up on a tier list and saying like which ones that I enjoy the most, which ones I think I could have improved on, or like kind of rate my own playthroughs. I think that might be pretty interesting. I mean, a little, if not a little redundant, but I think it'd be pretty interesting to just go and sit there and be like, this is what I did, this is what I learned, this is how I can improve, or you know, what experience with this character that I think felt unique, or what certain elements of it felt unique. But this was nice. It was good to go back to a damage dealer after doing tanking, and now we've got the Draenei Shaman, so I'm healing now, which is kind of chaotic, but it's cool. It makes me excited to play other damage dealers and what they're gonna be like. Mage, like eventually I'm gonna hit up create a mage, and it's gonna be cool to see how mages in retail play versus how I remember them being in classic, because classic I think mages were definitely, if not S tier, definitely A tier in terms of just utility and just everything that we had. We were kind of spoiled. Let's just be honest, mages were spoiled back then, especially with blink and teleportations. Dude, y'all remember teleporting for gold? Like, people would just be like, yo, I'll give you like 2 gold if you get portal me to Orgrimmar and such, because I don't want to make the journey, or especially Thunderbluff. Thunderbluff? Oh, crow. Dude, I used to get like 5 gold for anybody back in the day that was asking, hey, can you just get me to Thunderbluff? Because Orgrimmar and Undercity, that was like 2 gold you get per like each portal, but like Thunderbluff, people would pay for that one because that was a trek. And I appreciate it. Just little things like that I appreciate. But yeah, y'all gotta play Monk. Y'all gotta play a Monk. I think Monk is super fun. I think the utility is there. I think the look, once you get to like the rating sets, you start to look the part. You start to feel it. You know, Mr. Crab, to quote Mr. Krabs, you start to feel, or quote SpongeBob, I guess. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Totally. When you get to the rating sets, this tank is going nuts right now too. He's pulling it big. This is gonna be a lot of AoEing right here. I have a feeling I'm gonna drop. This might be it. No. I think we're good. I think we're pretty good. But yeah, Monks as a damage dealer, really fun. Makes me excited to try out the other damage dealers. I've heard people try to make comparisons between like Monk and tanking and like Demon Hunter tanking a little bit. In fact, I've heard Demon Hunter tanking is the most technical tank in the game, and it's very, very difficult. I'm looking forward to that challenge because I've never played Demon Hunter, but yeah, spoilers, I guess. We're going to be doing a Demon Hunter tank at some point, not the damage dealer. Oh no, we're going straight to tank, baby. There's only one way to do it. Oh, this fish is eating me alive. I am not gonna let you. Oh, dude, the fish eviscerated me. You see that? That dude eviscerated me. I was hoping somebody else would jump on him too, because then I was like, I'll just turn around and just do what I do. But dang, man, and they do it. They ported me all the way back. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to catch up to the team at this point. They're going to hit the last boss before I even get back there. That's sick. I mean, walk of shame, y'all. 4 deaths? Dang it, man. The cameraman is not supposed to die, and yet here I am. The cameraman is completely getting blasted at a moment's notice. How sick. But dang, man, that's going to be fun to showcase. I like the Underbog. I do. I actually like this dungeon. It's not my favorite, not my most preferred, but I do like it. I just can't believe that. Nobody else jumped on him, so I was like, I'll live. And then I was like, I didn't. That piranha had my number, y'all. He had my number. Drats. Oh my goodness. It was that's the other thing. Miss Pandaria dungeons, awesome. None of them are overly complicated. They all have a unique approach. They're all really, really fun, in my opinion. There's I think one that I was just like it was just a drag. But for the most part, I think they were all pretty fun, y'all. I think we got the Stormstout Brewery a lot, but it's a pretty straightforward one, so I can recommend it. Miss Pandaria Dungeons, they get my thumbs up of approval. Real fun stuff. Well, as I suspected, the team just went ahead and killed the last boss, and here we are in the Botanica. Now this is definitely going to be the finale. This is going to be, we are definitely getting 80 with this run. I was actually a little worried that I was going to hit 80 and not be at the final boss or the final portion of the dungeon, but here we are. So good stuff, good stuff. Let's go ahead and take care of this this dungeon. The Botanica also is a really good one. Like, definitely, I still prefer, like, Magister's Terrace to me is still my number one for anything Burning Crusade. I think it's just the best designed one. But I mean, the Underbog is cool. The Underbog is cool. The Botanica is really nice. This is a really cool dungeon. Glad Timewalking exists. That's the other thing. I'm really glad Timewalking exists because we get to experience these old school, the classic dungeons in a newfound light with a lot more, just a little bit more amped up difficulty, and just the classic versions with a little bit more difficulty suited to the high level play or just any level that you're currently on. Regardless, you can queue up for dungeons at what, level 10? So it's like you can jump into time walking immediately practically, which I think is really, really cool. But good stuff. So 2 quests. I don't think we're going to be doing that, but there we go, team. Level 80. Bismillah. Congratulations. Excellent job to Novaxaru. Excellent job to the team. We did really good on this playthrough for sure. Definitely gonna go ahead and also complete the Botanica because I think this dungeon definitely deserves it. If we start something, we're finishing it. We're not half-assing it. We're not cutting corners. We are going to do. We're going to complete the run, and let's go ahead and real quick, if I can. Got the sound. Well, there we go. I couldn't get it. Conduit of the Celestials. Awesome stuff. Another character in the books, y'all. This is our 3rd level 80 on the warband. Our 3rd 80. I've got 11 more to go, team. 11 more. Do you think I can do it? You think I can do it? I think I know. I think I can do it. I think we're gonna be just fine. So is there any classes I'm not looking forward to playing? I think I should go ahead and answer that question just in case if it was on anybody's minds. No, there isn't. There isn't one class I'm not looking forward to playing, and believe me, there's many classes in this game I have not played at all. Back in the day, I was definitely a Paladin main, but I did play Warrior. Warrior, Paladin, and Mage were my main 3. Didn't touch Hunter, didn't touch Rogue. Rogue was a little bit more on the technical side, and I just didn't really have much interest in it. Druid tanking is going to be interesting because I've never touched Druid before. I think, dude, Druid's tier sets are amazing. Druids, I think it's tier 4 Tier 1 looks good. Tier 2 looks even better. Tier 4 looks amazing. It looks phenomenal. That's going to be fun. I definitely need to unlock it before I touch a druid. But there's definitely like Hunter's tier 2 set looks amazing. The tier 1 not so much, but definitely the tier 2, the Dragon Stalker, I think the armor is called, or the tier set's called Dragon Stalker tier 2 looks beautiful. I'm looking forward to getting that ready for when I hit up Amaria again, and our lazy, everyone's favorite lazy tiger, good for nothing tiger, dude. I think that's gonna be fun. I definitely think that's gonna be fun. Here we are, team, family, Void fam. Here we are, level 80. The journey is complete. We got a new staff as well, which I think is sick. Look at that freaking animation of the tentacle. Oh, got it from the Underbog. The Underbog final boss is, looks crazy. Dude, this reimagined or recoloring of the tier set for monks looks awesome. The eyes, dude, those eyes. The hat as well. The hat, the detail and level of attention to detail on the hat, and the little intricacies of the arm pads and everything. It just looks stunning. I love the electric. You feel like Raiden, for Mortal Kombat. But y'all, I sincerely appreciate everybody for tuning in to Novaxaru's leveling journey. 3rd level 80, 3 level 80s in the books, and we're just only going to keep going forward. The Let's Level series continues. I'm looking forward to showcasing the next character when I'm ready to showcase them. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. And I hope y'all continue to enjoy the series. And again, please do feel constructive feedback helps me grow as a person, helps me grow as a player. I do not know everything about Azeroth, but I'm keeping an open mind and ear to every comment and feedback and every approach that I can possibly take to become better at what I do, or what this series' main objective is supposed to be. But y'all, that's all I got for now. I'll catch you in the next characters leveling journey. Playlist to all the characters currently going are going to be in the description as well for y'all to go and have ease of access to check out. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Shukran as always. And just remember, y'all, it's the journey, not the destination. Always. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Take care. Thank you all for your time.